plaintiff, Gretchen Burgess, dated the defendant, and they have a child together. But she says had she known the defendant's extensive criminal background, she never would have gotten together with him. Gretchen claims the two of them were living together, but the defendant left after she was forced to file a restraining order against him, and she's suing him today for rent. Defendant Blake Correa says Gretchen filed a restraining order against him, but only after he walked into their bedroom and Gretchen was in there with two other men. Blake is countersuing Gretchen for personal property.
Start with you.
Your Honor, had I known Blake's extensive criminal background, I never would have dated him. It consists of trespassing, weapons discharge, multiple driving without privileges.
When did you find those things out?
After the fact.
After you were done dating?
After we were done dating.
So when did you all start dating?
We started dating about January 2007.
All right.
I met Blake at a bar, and the whole time I was pregnant, he would go out to the bars, sometimes have me pick him up. He'd bring strangers back to the house at 3 o'clock in the morning.
Sure, Your Honor.
Strange men?
Yes. He'd bring them back to the house and hang out in the garage and turn the stereo up really loud, and I would have to go out there and ask him to turn it down. I mean, we have neighbors.
What were they doing?
Smoking marijuana.
Okay. You don't smoke marijuana?
No.
Okay.
That's not true.
Go ahead. Go ahead.
We broke up in February of 2009.
Why?
Multiple reasons. The drugs, the strangers at the house. Blake never got a job. Okay. I was supporting him and our son.
Never worked?
No. He had a job and he got fired.
Oh, why did you
I got
just
laid
say
off.
you never had one? And when I said, did he work, you said, nope.
Well, he didn't.
Man, let me go to him. You hurting yourself.
I'm sorry.
Maybe I better stop you before you just kill your case altogether. Maybe I better let you tell me what's going on.
Thanks, Your Honor.
Maybe you can win it for her.
Most of the reason why this all started, the breakup was because she had, cheated, or I suspected she cheated because her and her friend had gone out to the bar
and brought home men.
Guys, yes, which I found the next morning at the house.
In the garage, loud music.
Yeah, of course. In our bedroom,
That's a little different. Who was in your bedroom?
Supposedly a friend that they didn't like, and my supposed best friend for 10 years.
What in your bedroom?
I don't know. They were standing there, and my best friend wouldn't look at me. The other guy was putting on his shoes. I don't know.
And you don't know. You brought home 4 people and they were in his bedroom?
2.
No, Your Honor.
2 guys.
I went out with Carly and we met up with some friends of ours, 2 guys. And yes, they came and stayed the night instead of driving home drunk. We all took a cab. They didn't stay in my bedroom. When Blake forced his way into my house, which we have a domestic
They were
battery
in your
for that.
bedroom?
The 2 guys were in my bedroom and Carly and I were in the living room.
What were they doing in your bedroom?
They were talking. I don't know what they were doing. I was opening the door for him.
Okay, so people come to your house, they go into your bedroom, and you don't even inquire as to what they're doing. Go ahead. All right, she admits the 2 guys who were in her bedroom, and she has no idea what they did.
I mean, the last guy, the last time she took someone.
Don't talk over me. Did you hear me talking?
Yes, sir.
Let's get this case over. Go ahead.
Well, the last time she brought someone home from the bar, she did sleep with them. Didn't know him very long because that was me. So I mean, what else might I suspect?
Lie about that. Right. You can't lie about that, huh?
She then no contact orders filed.
Wow.
Because of domestic. That day when I found the guys, January 22nd
of 09?
09, I believe it was. I did peel out of there, and then I was accused of pushing her, knocking the phone out of her hands during 911 call when her family member was yelling, cussing at me that she's going to call the cops. So I did have a warrant at the time for an unpaid fine. So I did leave.
Was there a hearing on the restraining order?
Yes,
and the judge believes you?
Yes, he was found guilty of interrupting a 911 call and a domestic battery with no traumatic injury.
He was found guilty of that?
Yes, and I have a copy of it.
All right. Good enough. And how does he owe you for rent and storage fees?
The 3 of us rented a house. Carly moved out in January of 2008. At the time, Blake and I agreed that we would split the cost of the rent. So he owes me from rent from January of 08 to April of 08 that he didn't pay, and I paid all of it.
What was his share again?
It's $430.
All right. Sir?
You know, after Carly had moved out, my little sister had moved in with us and was also splitting the rent.
She moved out before January of 08. We had a 3-bedroom house.
I'm not sure exactly.
You're not sure, and you are sure.
Yes,
She took care
we
of
had
all
a
the
3-bedroom
paperwork.
house.
Okay. All right. She says she's sure, and you're not. So I'm inclined to believe a person who says they're sure. How does he owe you for storage fees?
The storage fee comes from when Blake ran from the cops from February of 09 from the domestic battery until April of 09 when he showed up, police escorted to remove his property from my house. So I charged him $100 for 3 months for storing his property.
Had he agreed to pay?
No, I mean, he hasn't agreed to pay anything ever.
I thought he had agreed to pay rent.
I mean,
if
let
he
me
didn't agree to
clarify
pay
that.
rent, then he doesn't know you.
Let me clarify that, Your Honor.
You keep confusing
Sorry.
me. And you keep contradicting yourself.
I'm sorry.
No, he never agreed to pay anything. Okay, then he doesn't know you for rent. No.
He agreed to pay, but he never has paid anything.
Agreed to pay storage?
No, he agreed to pay rent,
Okay.
but he left all of his
All right.
property
Well, you
there.
can't charge him for storage fees
Okay.
unless he agreed. You give him a notice to come get it. If he doesn't get it within a timely manner, then you're able to declare it abandoned and dispose of it. Sir, your counterclaim for personal property, what is that for?
That was due to the aquariums and pets that I had at the place, amongst other things. I have pictures of all my property. It was thrown outside.
Let's see it. When was it thrown out?
The day after, the 23rd, I believe, January.
February?
Yes.
Ma'am?
It was thrown out, and I also have...
Hold on. When was it set out?
It was set out after Blake went to jail for his original warrant
All right,
in
when?
April of 09. And it was after I had contacted his family members to come pick it up because
When
there was
were
going to
you
be
in
no
jail,
contact
sir?
order.
January 20th, somewhere right around there. Because I
And
have
you got out when?
the 2 days later after court.
Is that true?
No, sir.
When did he go in and come out?
He turned himself in, I believe it was April 29th.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he served 7 days, 9 days. I'm not
He
exactly.
went in April 29th?
Yes, after
When
he
did
turned
you set
himself
his
in.
things out?
It was shortly after after he got out from that time frame. But I was in contact with his
Ma'am,
family.
that's not what you said. You said you set his things out when he went in.
After he turned himself in.
But now you're saying you set him out after he got out. Didn't you just tell me that?
I'm not
All right.
sure.
You said you set it out while he was in jail, then you came back and said after he had left jail. Where's his property?
He picked it up with the police escort.
Sir?
That's not true, Your Honor. Here's a paper of dates when my stuff was thrown out
I
with her
want to know what happened
Texas.
to your property, to your knowledge.
I have no idea.
You never
in the
went
picture,
by, sir. There you go again.
Yeah, sorry.
Did you ever go by with the police?
Yes, sir.
Okay, well then you should have gotten your things. How are you suing her if you went by to get them and you didn't?
Because she wouldn't let me have everything.
You
I
were
had
with the police. How did
aquariums
she stop you with the police?
because my aquariums were full at the time, and they're rather huge.
Yeah,
and you
you're
can't
suing
move
for,
them all in a short
there you
time.
go again. Your claim is dismissed. You overtalked me several times. I've continued to warn you. Contempt of court, your claim is dismissed. Yours is granted except for the storage fees. You proved that he owes you rent. So that would be $1,720. Next time a judge warns you about talking over him and being disrespectful, stop doing it. Because if you do it over and over, just what happened will happen again. Judgment for the plaintiff.
I'm sure we'll continue to have our problems. We do have a son together, and this probably won't be the last time we're in court.
It's just one thing after another. It's constantly something.